Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just hope that they're ready to see on what this car is going to look like, you know? Hope they're Today we were working on the 1200, as you can see, a lot of body work. And just to let you know, a word from our sponsor, Gary from Cornwell. Don't just corn good, corn well. That's right.
Welcome to another edition of the Klunker Files, and we're working on the 1200 Klunker, and got a lot going on today. We're just, well, in this episode, I should say that, in this episode we're going to be working on welding in and patching some of the things that got cut out of the car wrongfully at the very beginning, and we're going to be resealing the engine. While Darren is hard at work working on that, I've already gotten this patched in. So this is one of the wheel tubs that got cut out of the car wrongfully. That's in now. And then the other thing is the license plate holder is gone, and we'll need to tack that back in, which is on that panel over there. So we'll put that on. And of course, this is not a sponsored show, but this Vulcan 215 MIG Max is a pretty good welder, and we're pretty happy about it. Actually, yeah, got a little fire going on. No big deal. That's just how it works. How's it going?
Pretty good. Getting there.
Just don't inhale that too much.
You know me, I'll be up for nights. No.
I didn't inhale. So this is the panel right here, the license plate piece right here. It's spot welded on. So the fix is we drill the spot welds out. And we're going to do that using my Matco Hyper Step drill bits. They are the best drill bits ever. So I'll get a drill bit out, chuck it into my trusty, what is this, a central pneumatic? Yeah, central pneumatic gun, and drill them out. So you basically find there, that's one of the spot welds, drill it out. Maybe a little big, but whatever. And then find the other spot welds. We've done that up here, and that's now loose. Alright, so now we got that drilled out, and it wants... It's going to come out here in a second. Alright, so I have put some primer on the back, something to weld through, and then this piece fits right there. So we get that mounted and patch in some holes, it'll be good. The other thing we're going to try and do is these doors, we got them out of a junkyard, and as you can see there's just multiple layers of paint, and they've been through the ringer, but they're also rusty underneath. So we're going to replace them with the parts car doors. So here's the doors from the parts car we got, and these doors actually aren't too awful bad, and we saved some sheet metal from scrapping it, some of the good stuff, and then we cut out the rusted spots. So we cut out the rusty spots, bared it back, and now what I did is I took this piece that I cut out of here, and then I took it over to this piece of metal, made a template, and then I'll cut that out and we'll weld that into here to close that gap up, and we'll do that on both doors, and then we'll hang the doors. Alright, so if you look here, this is the piece I cut out, and it's fit into that spot, and we'll weld that in. And I haven't I haven't cleaned that up around it, but we'll weld that in. And then once it's welded in, we'll go ahead and go over it with a, whatever that stupid grinder thing is. The flap disc, we'll flap it back, and then should be able to start doing body work. So it's the next day, and we have mounted the license plate frame to the back. The license plate is mounted. We filled in some holes, and the doors are on. So we swapped doors over, and we patched in those spots. So now it has doors again on both sides. We got those on. So there's some work that needs to do, that we need to do even more so body work related, because there was warpage to the sheet metal as we welded it in, which was kind of expected. We'll figure that out. We also have some work to do still in the trunk area because the spare tire well is trash. So we'll get that squared away at some point today, maybe. And that should conclude the welding. So one of the other things that I promised that we would be doing is working on the engine, getting it back together again, which is something we've done. Got the cylinder head, oil pan, all that back on in preparation for running it in the car. Now this is not a rebuilt engine. It was rebuilt at one point, but we did not rebuild this engine. So the thought process is we just wanted to doll it up to look pretty, but we know that this motor ain't the greatest per se. We won't know until we get it out on the road. This is just to get her on the road, so we'll see what happens. So this is where we're at. We're working on stuff. So we'll go ahead and get a few more things buttoned up and then probably wrap this up. All right, so we've patched in the floor. All the wheel wells are in, license plate frames back on. I think we're done. What do you think, Darren? I think we're on to the next phase, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so stay tuned for the next phase, which is body work and everything else that it takes to put a car back together again.